1001 action. I've always wanted to buy one of these just so I could do that, so I could feel cool. But anyways, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know I haven't made a video in a while, but I'm ready to tell you everything that has been going on. First, I'm gonna update you on my life, tell you everything that has been going on, and then I'm gonna get into what I've really made this video for. So first, I want to tell you guys, hold on, I was putting it down. So first, I want to tell you guys, I feel like this is a lot that I'm gonna talk about, so I feel like I have to prepare myself. But I'm ready. So the first thing I want to tell you guys, I've just been on vacation. Like, I first went to Vegas, then I went to DR for the first time, which was crazy because I had never been to the motherland, like crazy. And then after, I went to Miami for like a couple days. I'm gonna get into more detail about that trip in a couple moments, but for now, I also wanted to tell you guys that I started the gym. I started working out finally. I go with my brother. I feel like the gym was a part that had been missing from my life and I didn't even know, and I finally started like a month and a half ago now, and I just feel so good. Like, I feel so energetic, like I feel great every time I leave the gym, and I always want to do more. Yeah, so that's what's been going on. So what I really came to talk to you guys about is something that happened to me, and it's crazy because I felt like I was debating whether I should make this video and talk about it, or I should just keep it to myself. I barely told anybody about this. I probably told like 2 people, but now clearly more of you will know. So in 2019, I went to an Anuel concert, you guys. If you know, I love Anuel. Like, that's like my favorite rap trap artist, like my favorite Spanish artist. Yeah, so I went to his concert in 2019, and I had okay tickets. Like, the only reason why I didn't get like front row seats or nothing like that was because I found out like later on about that concert, because I wasn't really on Instagram at the time, so I didn't really find out the latest information about him, nothing like that. And I don't even know if he like posts stuff like that on his social media, so that's that. So I ended up getting like seats next to like the other stage, like the secondary stage. So I ended up like seeing him close. Like, it was really cool. It was a great experience. 10 out of 10. Like, it was a great concert. Like, it was wonderful. If anything, it was just short. Like, it could have been 10 hours longer, like, of course. But I met this guy at the concert by the name of JP, and he was really cool. He gave me his Instagram. Like, he was like that I seemed cool, that maybe we should be friends, like, you know, cool. Like, I was telling him like I love Anuel. Like, I had seen him passing by like on the other side of the rope where I was standing, and he was wearing like a VIP like necklace thing, you know what I'm talking about, that like ID. Like, he had one of those. He was on the other side, and I told him like I love Anuel, like I would love to see him, like if there's any opportunity, like, you know. And he was like, oh, totally, like, take my Instagram, blah blah blah, we're gonna, like, I'm gonna do everything for you that you can, like, next time he has a concert you'll see him, whatever. So we kept in touch after the concert. Like, I kept telling him how much like I love this artist, how I've been listening to him since 2017. Like, I really had been following him for a really long time, so it was such an important moment for me to even go to that concert. And the fact that I met somebody that potentially could get me to meet him, so I was really excited about that. So time went on, 2020 came, and that was when his next concert was supposed to be. It was supposed to be around March or something, according to him. According to the guy, that's when his next concert was gonna be. So the pandemic came, and that's the reason why, like, I wouldn't be able to go to the concert and meet him in the concert like he said I would. So that's that. So January came around, and the pandemic was still here. Of course, the pandemic is still here, but things were like slowing down a bit. So, and people were traveling, and even I was gonna travel, and we spoke, like, we caught I ended up speaking to him around this time. We were just catching up, talking about the pandemic, talking about everything crazy that has been going on. We had talked before that, probably like once or twice, just catching up, I guess. And after I told him that, he told me, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna try to see what I could do for you. Just give me a couple days. Like, let me see what I could do for you." Okay. So a couple days passed, and he texted me, and he said, "Oh, hey, I think there might be an opportunity for us to arrange something for you to come meet him." And I was like, "Okay." Like, of course, me listening to that, I'm gonna love hearing that. So I was like, okay. So I was like, "Let me know more when you have more information." He was like, "I got you." Like, a couple days passed. He texted me again. He was like, he sent me like 3 paragraphs talking about, "Oh, this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity. We don't really do this for anyone, but him and his team are willing to set up like a meet and greet for you for maybe like a weekend where you come to Miami, you meet him, you come to the studio, like you spend like you do like a fan experience kind of thing." He was like, "You get to take pictures, and all you have to do is sign a contract so that we can make sure you're not gonna post any songs or any videos or any content that is not yet out there to the media." And I was just like, okay, like, I have no problem with that, especially because I know it's a big artist. Like, their music they don't want their music to get leaked, none of that. So I was like, okay. So then he tells me, since we have to sign a contract, there's gonna be a fee, and it's always this amount of money. This amount of money. I can't even speak today. This amount of money, and it's usually like 10K, 20K, but we're gonna give it to you at a great deal, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay. He was like, "I'm gonna try to lower the amount that you have to pay to the little." I feel like I need to take a break today because I can't even speak. But he told me they were gonna try to lessen the amount that I had to pay as much as they could. He told me that the less amount he could do it for was this amount, which was still a lot to me. It was a couple bands, which is a lot for a college student, you know, somebody like struggling through the pandemic just as everybody else. Like, we're not rich. Like, well, I'm not rich. I don't know about you. And I'm not rich. So that money could have definitely been put to better use, like buying myself a car. Like, I want to buy myself a car, and I used that money to give it to him instead of saving it for myself for something I really want and something I really need. So that happened. I ended up meeting up with him. I gave him the money. He told me, "Okay, we're all set. Like, you're gonna sign the contract when you get to Miami." This was all in New York, by the way. Like, I met him in New York. I gave him the money in New York. He drove all the way to my house and got it like downstairs. And he drove off. He was like, "Okay, so you can go to Miami." He was like, "You can rent a room, rent a hotel there for the amount of nights that you're gonna stay there." He was like, "It would most preferably be this week." He told me it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That was the best days that I could go. It was the best day for Anuel. Like, it was the best couple of days for the team, apparently, because remember, it's a security team, it's everything team. That it was all this big lie. That's what it was. Because I got to Miami, and I texted him. I was like, oh, I'm here. Everything is cool. He texted me back. He was like, perfect. He was like, soon we're gonna come get you in a car. I say we're, but he means like the team or whatever. His team was gonna come get me, and then they were gonna take me to apparently his house. Which when he said his house, I was like, yeah, that seems a little off. Cause why would somebody that doesn't know me bring me to his house? You know, like especially a big artist with a whole team. Like it would seem more reasonable if they said a studio or something like that, or a restaurant, you know, where it's more public and stuff like that. So they told me we're gonna go get you, and that's what's gonna happen. I waited about 2 hours, and then I ended up texting him, and I was like, what's going on? Like, I've been waiting for a while, like what's gonna happen? So he goes, oh, they're doing something right now, they're busy, they're having a meeting, so just go to this spot and meet them there. So he sent me to, it wasn't even a spot, he sent me near the beach, and I was there. Just imagine somebody that's not from Miami. Like, I'm not from Miami. I was in that city, I was there alone. Anything could have happened to me. Everybody was in Miami around that time. Like, it was just crazy, and it was just such a dangerous experience. I ended up waiting about 3 hours around that place. I ended up going to go get food just because I'm not gonna be outside just on the beach. And I was wearing a dress and I was wearing heels. Like, I was all dressed up because I was going to go meet him. Like, everything was going great up until that point. So I was waiting at the restaurant for hours, and then I ended up texting this guy who's apparently the lawyer, who JP told me that was a lawyer, and I had his number, and we had been exchanging texts and telling me information about the trip and about the legal status and about this and about that. And that was him. I ended up searching this guy on Instagram, by the way, too, and this guy comes up on Instagram, and he's a real lawyer. Like, this man gave me a real lawyer's name that actually works for Anuel, and I'm 100% sure I didn't have any interaction with that real man. I had an interaction with somebody who was impersonating him. Anyways, so I ended up texting him, and I told him, like, hey, this is very unprofessional because I've been waiting out here in a city that I'm not from, and I've been here for hours. Like, I'm already heated. Like, if you know me, you know I get heated. And it was already dark outside. Like, I got up from the restaurant where I was at because I was already there for too long, and I started walking around, and it was dark, and like people were hitting on me. Like, I was just scared. Like, it was a scary moment. So then when I sent the lawyer that text, the other guy wants to call me JP. Funny, because why would he call me, but I sent you the text? Okay, but he calls me, he's like, listen to what I had to say. Like, he came off very rude. He was like, he didn't like that you said that actually pissed him off. That is exactly how he said it. And I was ready to open my mouth, and he literally shut me up. He said, wait, before you say what you have to say, before you speak, listen. And I don't like that, because you have to understand my part, where I'm coming from. I'm 19, like, I'm a whole girl. Like, it's just a lot. Like, I'm not from there. Like, you have to understand, you told me to come here, and I was gonna be waiting for a couple minutes, not a couple hours. So then I told him, like, okay. I literally said okay. I was like, so what do? I was like, do I go back to my hotel? Like, what do I do? Go back to your hotel, we'll call you. Okay, I said. I go back to my hotel. At this point, I spent money on 2 Ubers, and they were so expensive because of the time. And I'm just mad about the fact that I could have been doing something else. Like, I actually had friends there at the time. I could have hung out with them, and I didn't, just because I was waiting around on something else. And I was traveling and spending money for no reason. So I ended up going back to my hotel room, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited till like 11 o'clock. And I was like, is this gonna happen or not? I texted the lawyer, and he was like, oh yeah, it is. Just give us a couple minutes. I'm so sorry that this has happened. Like, I understand. He was talking to me so nice compared to how everything was before. I was like, okay. I already knew in my head, like, something was off, something wasn't right the whole time. Like I knew even before I left my house in New York, like I was the whole time like, should I do this? Should I do this? And everything leading up until this moment was just bad. Like everything was going bad, and I feel like it's partly my fault because I didn't take those signs into consideration and said, hey, maybe I shouldn't do this. But I feel like it was just a learning experience. So anyways, I ended up falling asleep, got no response from them. So they didn't text me, they didn't call me, they weren't gonna pick me up. Next day comes, I wait till 11, I wait till a reasonable time, and I text them and I'm like, hey, is this gonna happen today? Because if not, like I'm just gonna go back home to New York, like it's not a problem, like it's okay. Then they go, no, don't worry, today it's gonna happen, like I know we kept you waiting, but it's gonna be so worth it, blah 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 blah, we're gonna do this for you, he's even gonna take a picture with you. And I was like, okay, like okay. At this point I just stayed that extra day because I was like, I'm already here, like let me just stay here. I ended up doing my nails over there, didn't like them, worst experience ever, they came out so ugly. And yeah, I went back to my hotel room that night. I texted them and I got no response from them. So then I ended up booking my flight that same night so I could leave like at, I think I left like at 4 or 5 around that time in the morning. And I ended up coming back home to New York. I came back and they hadn't texted me, like they didn't text me that night. Nobody texted me the morning after, like nobody texted me about anything regarding the situation. So I come back home here, like I finally feel safe again. Like I was feeling so uneasy, so unsafe, like I felt so uncomfortable. It was a really bad experience. I'm finally here, I'm finally home, and I text them and I'm like, so what's gonna happen? Like I want my refund and I expect the refund for my trip and the money that I gave you and all my expenses, because I spent so much money. It was a trip that I didn't have to do, that I was only gonna do because of that, because I was gonna go meet somebody. So I tell them about the refund and everything, and he's like, oh, we're gonna give you both a refund and we're gonna fix what we did, and this is when he comes to New York, and this is what you'll be doing, like blah blah blah, like telling me again like this is what's gonna happen when he comes to New York. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm not really interested, I would just like my money back. At this point I was furious, like I was like, I don't want anything, like that's it, like I was done, just wanted my money back. Time came, didn't meet him, still didn't get my money back. I texted the guy after, I texted the lawyer after, nobody responded, no response, nothing. So I ended up reaching out to JP again like a month after, and I was like, hey, like I still haven't gotten my refund, like what's going on, blah blah blah. He's like, wait, you still haven't gotten your money back? Wait, what? Like acting all brand new, like I thought that because I hadn't heard from you, like he gave you your money back, I thought he figured this all out. Just telling me lies. Because I already know, like you scammed me, like that's it. I'm here just talking to you, trying to see what response you're gonna give me. Like I want to know in what way you're gonna try to continue this, because at this point I know I'm not getting my money back. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna let him know, blah 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 blah, I'm gonna call you tomorrow, and I called you today because I want you to know how urgent it is, blah blah blah, like just telling me all of this. And I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. The next day came, he didn't call me, he didn't text me, the lawyer didn't call me, the lawyer didn't text me, still didn't get my money, whatever. I was like, whatever. I texted him after that, no answer. Texted him after that, no answer. Fine. I ended up reaching out to this person that's verified on Instagram named Spiff. He, I guess, like is closely related with, through business, with Anuel. So I hit him up and I told him a little bit about what happened, not really all the details. And he told me that I should have done a Google search for the guy, which I thought was a little weird, because why would I Google search somebody that tells me that they're a road manager if they're backstage, they have pictures with the artist on their Instagram, and they look credible? Like nothing about this guy seemed sketchy at the time. So of course I'm gonna believe what he's saying. Like why would I do a Google search? Like, that's not crossing my mind if I see this evidence in front of me, you know? So that's what he told me, like, no resolution, no nothing, just, oh, you should have Google searched him, I'm sorry that it happened to you. And it's like, yeah, I guess, like, but that didn't really help me with much, you know, just because I was looking for, I guess, more than that. Like, I just wanted somebody to hear me out on what I was saying, not necessarily, oh, you should have Google searched this person, because I already know who his manager is. I already know who his people are. Like, I follow him. I know who these people are. But you also have to understand that artists who are that big have 1,000 different type of people on their team that are not all on Google, that are not all famous, that are not all, oh yeah, I know who that is. Like, it's not like that for every single person on a team of somebody that famous. Like, that's something that has to be understood also. So yeah, I made this video so that people will be more aware, I guess. Like, just be more careful. Like, before you give money to somebody, just like triple, quadruple check that they're credible. Like, so just don't even give your money to nobody. Like, forget meeting an artist at this point. Like, I'm so like, I don't even know the word. Like, I just feel like I was so happy to go over there and experience that, and I came back and it was just like, wow, what a blow. Like, it was crazy. But I wanted you guys to know what happened, and I also want people to know, like, just in case this has happened to somebody else, you know, like, I'm sure I'm probably not the first person that it's happened to, and I'm sure it's happened with other artists too. Like, people do that all the time, like, just to try to get people's money. And it's crazy because it's like, you knew me, like, you wanted that money that bad, like, you broke, just say that. Like, I be seeing you walking around with Gucci, with Louis, but you scamming me out of my money. That looks really bad. Like, that looks so bad. Like, it is what it is. Karma is a real thing. Karma's gonna get him whenever karma does its thing. Like, I know that it was also a learning experience for me, and it also taught me so much about the people around me. People are really nasty. Like, people don't really care about you, like, at all. Like, it's crazy because I don't call just anybody my friend, but this situation specifically made me realize, like, people are not for you, people are not down with you, people don't rock with you the same way you rock with them. So always keep your eyes open. Like, always be one step ahead. I learned that. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you got this far, give it a thumbs up, and follow me on Instagram and subscribe, and I promise I'll be back with another video. It's actually gonna be a mukbang. I know you guys have wanted one for a long time, and I've been sleeping on it. Like, I'm gonna do it. I already know what I'm gonna be eating and everything. Like, just wait on it. But again, thank you, and have a great day. Have a good night. Like, whenever time you're watching this, just have a great time after that. Action. Action. Action.